I have two breaking news stories, the first of which was issued February 22nd, 2017 by NASA. They stated that they have found 7 new Earth-like planets. The second news story is that Gary Busey has located Earth and he's not returning. NASA has announced that they found 7 new Earth-like exoplanets orbiting a star called TRAPPIST-1. An exoplanet is any planet that orbits a star other than our own sun. Planet Hollywood is a ripoff of the Hard Rock Cafe, and they are failing. They have 6 locations, all of which remain far from reality. Of the 7 planets orbiting the star TRAPPIST-1, 3 are located in the habitable zone. We have an artist's depiction of one of the planets. The habitable zone in any solar system is a range in which the location of a planet can remain to sustain life. Not too close, as in my relation to bankruptcy, and not too far away, as in Gary Busey's relationship to sanity. The orbits of the 7 planets around TRAPPIST-1 range from a half day, or 12 hours, to up to 20 days. Roughly the amount of time it would take me to commit suicide after someone cut off my penis. TRAPPIST-1 is an ultra-cool dwarf star located roughly 40 light years away from your mother in the constellation Aquarius, god of the donut. While I'm not an astronomer, I am an amateur human. An ultra-cool dwarf star in lay terms would be a famous midget hipster. Relative to a rock star, ultra-cool stars are more condescending and oblivious to irony. These planets were found through a process known as transit photometry. Transit photometry is basically using a sophisticated telescope that you can't buy at Brookstone and aiming it at a star and seeing when the planets orbiting that star pass in front of the star in the same way the moon passes in front of the sun during a solar eclipse. Then they measure the range in which the light is dimmed by that planet that's passing in front of said star to roughly estimate the size or circumference of the planet. They measure the mass of a planet in another way I'm not quite sure. To be honest, I'm not quite sure any of this works. This is just what I read on Wikipedia. The name of the star in question is 2 mass J, followed by a string of numbers I don't have the patience to read, but it also may be known as the fucking star everybody's talking about. The one fuck, I don't have the patience to talk to you about any of this anymore. The planets surrounding the star were named B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and the like, but I took the liberty of naming them something more interesting. Cash rules everything around me.
Check this shit. Yeah, I grew up on the crime side, the New York Times side.
TRAPPIST-1 is roughly 1/10 the size of our sun, or roughly the same size as the gas giant in our solar system, Jupiter. Yes, 1/10 the size of our sun, yet it has 3 habitable planets circling it, proving that clearly size doesn't matter, and I regret saying that hack old-fashioned bromide. TRAPPIST is roughly the same size as Jupiter, giving credence to all the pot-smoking burnouts who call themselves realists or truthers that Jupiter may have been a burnt-out star at one point. While Jupiter does include the elements necessary for a star, hydrogen and helium, Jupiter, the giant gas planet, unlike Milo Yiannopoulos, was never flaming. 3 of the 7 planets surrounding TRAPPIST-1 are in the habitable zone, and several of these planets are rocky, much like our own planet Earth, not the movie with too many sequels. After a full day's research, my reading concluded the moment I read the sentence that roughly said, the type of stars that TRAPPIST-1 is are prone to large solar flares that would wipe out any sort of atmosphere on any of the planets orbiting, as the orbiting planets for TRAPPIST-1 are extremely close to the planet. All 7 planets orbit in a circumference smaller than that of Mercury. Since these planets probably have no atmosphere due to radiation, it seems like they are probably uninhabited because radiation is good for melanoma, not so good for life. Scientists have also said that these planets are most likely entwined in tidal locking. Tidal locking is when one day equals one revolution around its sun, or 1 year. 1 day equaling 1 year. Much like a 5-year-old on December 24th, the day before Christmas, or a Jew on tax day, April 15th, if their family is not part of the global banking conspiracy. This discovery begs the obvious question, where did I leave my cell phone? Are scientists involved in witchcraft? Can someone tell me what the fuck happened to Pluto? Why is the sky so hurty on my eyeball? Can we make my eyeball a contraction my ball? Such as, I'm blinking a lot because I have sweet and low in my ball. Is it okay that I've grown tired of Neil deGrasse Tyson and his sidekick, Dr. Nameless Asian Dude? Will people ever stop making redundant, daft jokes about Uranus? How long can I stare at a sunset before it's damaging? That's a serious question. I want to know. How long can I stare at a sunset? That should be common knowledge. And the answer is not no time at all, because I've stared at many a sunset and I can still clearly see motorists flicking me off when I drive on the daily. And honestly, the most relevant question, are we alone? Not alone as in Susan Boyle, I mean alone here on Earth. Or is there life elsewhere in the universe? The answer is yes, there is life elsewhere in the universe. I don't say that from a scientific standpoint, I say that from a logical standpoint. The universe is infinite. It goes on forever because there's no way for it not to. If it stopped, what would be at the end of it? A wall? Then what's behind the wall? More stars and galaxies? The universe goes on forever, and it's filled with stars and galaxies, and there's no chance in hell we are the only intelligent life in the universe. That would be a ridiculous notion, and some people say it's narcissistic. I don't think so. I think it's dim-witted, though. I think with more stars than grains of sand on the beach, infinitely more stars, there's definitely life on other planets, intelligent life. In fact, I would venture to guess that we are not even close to the most intelligent race of beings in the universe. Chances are, well, honestly, if you think of infinity, the amount of time has existed for and will continue to exist on a timeline, and infinity relative to space going on forever, there's a great possibility that not only is there life on other planets, there's another solar system with an Earth just like our own, with the same exact people doing the same exact things. There's probably an infinite number of Earths out there, maybe in different days. There's probably an Earth 5 minutes ago before you clicked on this YouTube video. There's probably an Earth in which I get laid a lot. There's probably an Earth in which black people, I'm not going to finish that one. There's probably, there's definitely life on other planets. It would be ridiculous if there wasn't life on other planets. In fact, I would say that the universe is teeming with life. And I would like to offer up a clip or two. This one is from the Citizens' Hearing on Disclosure. Disclosure is a movement to illuminate to the public the existence of extraterrestrials that have been in concert and relation to human beings here on Earth.
There are huge issues here, huge issues. And the American people and the people of the world have a right to know, because they're part of it. UFOs are as real as the airplanes flying overhead. That gave me the dubious distinction of being the first person of cabinet rank in the G8 group of countries to say so unequivocally. An investigation was launched into this whole subject, and a document was prepared which concluded that at least 4 species had been visiting Earth for thousands of years. My interest is in full disclosure, but just as children survive the idea of the Tooth Fairy and Santa Claus when they become adult, I think that tax-paying citizens are quite capable of accepting the new and broader reality that we live in a cosmos teeming with life of various sorts. The fact that some other civilizations are more advanced than we are may be humbling. It exists, and it's being kept secret by the same vested interests who control our destiny.
So the question is, why are extraterrestrials visiting hillbillies? Maybe because extraterrestrial DNA is necessary to fight such aggressive inbreeding. Maybe extraterrestrials stopped on Earth to get directions to Uranus. I guess those shitty-ass jokes are not going to stop. Maybe they stopped here for terrestrial blowjobs. For Starbucks. Maybe they stopped here for the overrated, boring-ass Mayweather-Pacquiao fight that I regret spending money on. Maybe they stopped on Earth for a garage sale to update their Facebook status. Maybe they stopped on Earth to program humanity, their slave race, to do their bidding, much like Geppetto. Maybe you live on strings, invisible strings that you're unaware of. Maybe you have no free will whatsoever. Maybe you're watching this video because extraterrestrials have programmed you to watch this video. Maybe on another Earth, 100 million light millennia away from here, there's a free you watching this video and still not enjoying it. Maybe all this information about extraterrestrials will cease to exist in your mind by the time I end this sentence.